Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Today we are making cluster crossroads. We have this cross going in the centre and this little circle. So it reminds me of a roundabout with the crossroads going either way. So I love that. So we have these clusters going on, which also can be known as double crochet 2 together, double crochet 3 together, yeah, we've got this kind of meshy effect going on as well. So you could do this in whatever colours you like. I've just done it in one colour today, but yeah, pick your yarn, grab your hook and your scissors, and then you'll need a needle to sew in at the end, and maybe a cup of tea or coffee, and let's get started. Okay, so to start round 1 you can use the magic ring, or you could do a chain 4 and slip stitch to make a ring. So just to change things up a bit, I'm going to use the magic ring today. I hardly ever use the magic ring, but I'm going to use it today just because I feel like something a bit different. So what we're going to do into our ring, whichever ring you've made, we're going to chain 3. Now I've already chained 1 here to secure my ring, so I've done 3 now. And then we're going to do a 2 double crochet cluster, or could be known as double crochet 2 together. So we do 2 partial double crochets, leaving that last loop on the hook each time, and then we'll have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through. So we put that with our initial chain, and that gives us our first cluster. I'm going to call them clusters, okay? And then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster, or double crochet 3 together. So we do 3 partial double crochets for this. So again, leave that last loop on your hook each time, and this time you will end up with 4 loops and pull through. And there we go, you've now got what I'm going to call clusters, so 2 clusters there. And then you're going to chain 3 for your corner, and then you're going to do another cluster, so 3 partial double crochets. Oops. Have 4 loops on the hook at the end of that. Pull through, chain 1 and do another. And there we go. Pull through, and then you're going to do chain 3 for your corner. So we've got 2 sets of clusters so far, and then you're going to do another set of 2. So 1, 2, oops, and 3. Pull through those 4, chain 1, do another 1, 2, 3. Pull through those 4 loops, so 1, 2, 3, chain 3 for your corner, 2 more clusters, 1, chain 1 and 1 more cluster, 2, 3, and pull through, and then do your last chain 3 for your last corner. And then pull your ring in, or if you've got your chain 4 ring, you won't need to pull that in so much, and then just slip stitch into the top of your first cluster, not your chain but your first cluster. So just look at the top there, find the top of that cluster, there we go, and slip stitch, and there we go. That's our little round 1 with our 8 little clusters finished. Cute. Okay, now on this pattern there are lots of things that repeat, that we do time and time again on each round, so it will start to become familiar, which is good. So we're going to slip stitch across into this first chain 1 space between our first 2 clusters, and then we're going to do our first, I'm going to call it our beginning cluster, where we chain 3 and then we do a 2 double crochet cluster, so just those 2 double crochets, and then pull through those 3 loops and then chain 1, and then do your regular cluster of 3 double crochet, 3 partial double crochet. Okay, pull through 4 loops. So from here on in, I'm going to call this 3 double crochet cluster. I'm just going to call it a cluster. Okay, so now chain 3, and in your corner space you are going to do a double crochet, chain 3 and a double crochet and chain 3, and then you're going to do 2 more clusters in this next chain 1 space, the one between your 2. So I'll just do that one with you. So do 1 cluster, chain 1 and another, and pull through, and then you're going to do your corner just as before, and you are going to chain 3, double crochet into that corner, chain 3, double crochet into the same corner and chain 3, and then repeat this on the next 2 sides. Do your 2 clusters, do your corner, 2 clusters, corner, and then slip stitch to the top of this first cluster. And here we go at the end of round 2. So it might look a bit frilly when you first finish, but it is quite good to, at the end of each round, just kind of put your fingers in the corners and just give it a bit of a spread, just to kind of make sure it's nice and square. It will help enormously when we get, as you get further along. It's quite good to do that with your squares as you're making them, if they don't appear very square as you go. Okay, so round 3, we're going to start in exactly the same way with yarn. Let's get some more of that. Okay, so we are going to slip stitch across into that first chain 1 space, and you're going to do that beginning cluster as before, chain 3, and then your 2 partial double crochets, and then chain 1 and do a regular cluster, 2, 3, oops, pull through, and then we're going to chain 1 and do a double crochet in that next chain space, and then we're going to do our corner as usual by chaining 3, and then in the corner double crochet, chain 3 and a double crochet, and then chain 3. This is what I say about the pattern repeating a lot as we go around, which is lovely. So then we're going to do a double crochet in the next chain space and chain 1, and then do your 2 clusters in the center here of your previous clusters. So cluster, chain 1 and cluster, 1, 2 and 3, and then chain 1 and do a double crochet in the next space, oops, double crochet, and then chain 3 to start your corner, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do your double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet back in that same corner, chain 3, double crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, and then you're going to do your clusters in the center there, chain 1, do your double crochet, chain 3, do your corner, and follow it around this side. If you need a reminder, rewind about 2 minutes, and I'll see you back here when you've slip stitched into your first cluster. So there we go at the end of round 3. So you can see we've got our crossroads forming quite nicely there. Okay, so round 4. Round 4, we're going to start in the same way again. Slip stitch across to your chain 1. Do your starting cluster. And then chain 1, do another regular cluster. 2 and 3, and then we are going to chain 3, and we're going to skip this double crochet down here, and we're going to do a double crochet in the next space. And then we're going to do our corner as usual. Chain 3, double crochet into the corner, chain 3, another double crochet in the corner, and chain 3. And then we're going to skip the double crochet, do a double crochet in the next space, chain 3, and then you're going to do your clusters in the center here. So let's do those. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then do your second cluster. 3, there we go, and then you're going to chain 3, skip this double crochet and do a double crochet in the next chain space, chain 3, and do your corner. And then you're going to just repeat that around, rewind about 2 minutes if you need a reminder, and I will see you back at the end when you have slip stitched into your first cluster. And here we go at the end of round 4. I love this kind of lacy open effect here, love it. So now we are actually on to the last round, which is round 5, and that's a round of single crochets, and it's just going to kind of firm all this up and stabilize it into a square. We've had that before with squares where it's quite open, and then we just put a solid round on the outside. Now it depends if your square is almost to your size and to your regular size. Mine isn't. They should be about 6 inches, and mine's come up at about 5. So I actually need more than a single crochet, but I'll probably just do another single crochet round or whatever. But I'm going to do it as the pattern. I'm going to do it correctly to show you. So you could change this though and do a half double crochet or a double crochet even if you need to. So as I said, I'm going to show you a single crochet round as the pattern. I'm going to be good and follow it as it is today. You know, I sometimes go off and do my own thing, but not today. So we are going to do single crochets. If you want to do a double crochet, then start with a chain 3 and count that as your first double crochet. If you're doing a half double crochet, start with a chain 2 and count that as your first half double crochet. But if you're doing a single crochet, chain 1, and that doesn't count as anything, and then do a single crochet in that same stitch, and then a single crochet in the chain space. I'm just going to say a stitch maybe so it doesn't confuse you in case you're doing a different size stitch. Okay, so then 1 in the next stitch, which is a cluster, and then 3 in the chain space. 1, 2, 3, 1 in the stitch, 3 in the chain space, oops, 1 in the stitch, and now this is our corner space, so you're going to do 2 stitches, whatever size you're doing, 2 stitches, and then chain 3, and then 2 more stitches, and then 1 in the next stitch, 3 in the space, 1 in the stitch, 3 in the space, 1 in the top of that cluster, 1 in the space, 1 in the next cluster, 3 in the space, 1 in the stitch, 3 in the space, 1 in the stitch, and then your corner, 2 stitches, chain 3 and 2 stitches, and you're going to repeat this around the next 2.5 sides and slip stitch into either your first single crochet or the top of your chain 2 or chain 3, and I will see you around there. So here we go, I have done my single crochet round, and then I actually added another round of half double crochets just to bring it up to size a bit more. So there we go, cluster crossroads, I love it. And doing this edging does just firm it up a lot and give you a more stable edge. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed making this up with me, and or you've enjoyed watching, and I hope this has inspired you to have a go if you haven't already. And I could quite imagine doing this square with this the crossroads part in the middle of a different colour. I could quite imagine that would look gorgeous. So if you haven't done it already, then hey, who's going to do that and then show me a photo in the group? I would love to see that. So there we go. So if you've enjoyed crocheting along or watching along, then please click that like button and give us a thumbs up. And all the details of the group are in the description below, and if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified of as soon as a new video is posted. So until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.